Hey, I'm Siobhan, community cultivator and founder of BEFREE Project. The BEFREE Project podcast was created for community, sisterhood, and personal growth. Each week, you'll be inspired and motivated to do the work to show up for yourself so you too can feel fulfilled and be free. Now grab a pen and a notebook and let's get into the show. The best decision that you can make today is joining the BEFREE Inner Circle at BEFREEInnerCircle.com, a community for like-minded women to find their forever friends and get accountability to do their personal growth work. Your membership includes a private, exclusive community of women who are not only showing up for themselves, but for one another. Weekly live events with me and or guest speakers, daily accountability so this way you can finally get stuff done, mentorship from yours truly, and so much more. Now, there's no long-term commitment and you can cancel at any time. However, I can guarantee the moment you join, you're going to feel a warm embrace and you're going to want to stick around. Every single member of the BEFREE Inner Circle will walk away with clarity, fulfillment, and confidence because guess what? When you're around me, you're going to win. So come and grow inside the BEFREE Inner Circle at BEFREEInnerCircle.com. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the BEFREE Project podcast. As always, I'm so glad that you're back again. I appreciate you so much. This week, I am loving the movie Soul. Now, I'm not going to give any spoilers in case you haven't seen it yet, but it is a must-see. Now, I know it's a Pixar movie. However, the story is so beautiful. It left me feeling inspired. I actually watched it Christmas Day with my family, and it was just so good. And I was telling some friends, I said, I know it's a Pixar movie, but I really think the message is for adults. And I've already watched it once. Actually, I've watched it twice, and I can see myself watching it time and time again. So if you haven't watched the movie Soul on Disney Plus, definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. It's going to help you see purpose differently, how you pursue your dreams, and really being mindful in the moment. So check it out. All right, so on to today's topic, which is my 6-step roadmap to being free. Several months ago, I took some time out to think through what is my process, what helps me stay consistent and show up in my life, and how have I been able to change my life in 180 degrees. And it took some time for me to really think about it because when you've been doing this personal growth work for a long time like myself, sometimes things just become routine for you. And so as I was talking to one of my great friends, I was sharing with her, I said, these are the things that I do. Like when it was time for me to get unstuck and to consistently show up for myself, this is what I've done. This is how I do it. This is my process. And as I was sharing that with her, I decided to put pen to paper and really write everything down because one of the questions that I get asked all the time is, Siobhan, where do I get started on my personal growth journey? And I can run off these things that I'm going to share with you today, but I've never put them all together in a way that I have now. And I'm sure at some point through any episode on the podcast, I've mentioned them all, but now I have a roadmap that will guide anybody on their process to being free and getting unstuck and doing the work and changing their lives. I put everything together for you, and you can actually click the link in my show notes to download it immediately. It's absolutely free. And again, this is my go-to process that I do over and over and over again, both in my business and in my personal life. All right, so the first thing that I do is, this is the starting point, is number one is awareness. And this is where you feel like something is off. Something just doesn't feel right. There's a void. You're uncomfortable. There's an internal feeling and yearning for more. It's like, I thought my life would look different when I got this, but yet there's an emptiness. and you're unsure where to start. But at this point of the roadmap with awareness, you feel confused, lost, disappointed, frustrated, annoyed, angry, and lonely. Basically, it's an internal signal that you want more. And so I'll give you an example. Years and years ago, when I was still working in corporate America, I was at this stage of awareness. And I was feeling all of the emotions that I just shared. And I was working full time. I had 2 small children at the time. I was married. I had the house. I had a new car. The salary was nice. I had everything that society said would make you happy. But guess what? I was empty. And I remember having this moment when I started thinking, I thought these things was going to make me happy, but why am I feeling so empty inside? And there was this feeling of being lost on a road, not knowing which way to go, just having this desire to go somewhere. So that's the first stage of the roadmap, is awareness. Number 2 is clarity. So now that I'm aware that I feel lost, confused, frustrated, angry, annoyed, irritated, I have to start asking myself some very important questions. And the questions that I started asking myself, you can find them in the Free Your Mind Journal at freeyourmindjournal.com. And I started saying, Siobhan, what do you want for your life? Siobhan, what don't you want for your life? What do you envision for your life? What do you want to do outside of being a mother and a wife? What's your purpose? What are you passionate about? That's clarity. Clarity is when you begin to ask yourself the questions that you're now aware of, the feeling that you have inside. And so as I started asking myself these questions in the clarity stage, I journaled my responses. And I took my time. I didn't rush it. And I would answer these questions along with many more. And I gave myself time to see whatever came up. And I will tell you, during this time when I was first doing this process, there was lots of tears, frustration. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm passionate about, because I had been following society's path. And so I allowed myself, through frustration and all the other feelings, to see whatever came up. And the next stage, after I started getting clarity around what I wanted for my life, number 3 is mindset. So this is where I had to face myself. I had to acknowledge my limiting beliefs on where I was in my life. So the feelings of I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. Everybody else's life is better than mine. Everything has to be perfect. This is where I started facing those thoughts. And for me, when it came to the mindset, if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, then you know my first step was going to therapy, because I had to heal my mother wounds in order to get to the next stage that I was looking for. Now, that may not be everyone's process. I'm just sharing for me. My first process was going to therapy, but it was after I was able to unpack my limiting beliefs and thoughts inside the mindset section, if you will. So again, I want you to journal these responses, whatever comes up, and see, okay, what is holding me back from moving forward? What is holding me back from doing the work? And so the next step in the roadmap, number 4, is resources. And so now that I had awareness, I had clarity, I asked myself those very important questions. I started thinking through my thoughts, those negative thoughts that were lingering, those limiting beliefs. And I started gathering things and people that I needed to begin to shift my life. And so like I just mentioned, my first thing was going to therapy. So that would fit in this section, actually. I was reading books, watching motivational videos, going to conferences, building relationships with women who are also on their personal growth journey. This is where you gather up everything that you need to move forward. So let's just say you are dealing with unforgiveness, right? And that is when you went through the awareness process and your mindset and you did the clarity part, you realize you have to forgive yourself or some people that may have hurt you. Then in the resource section, you may want to find a book on forgiveness, right? Or you may want to reach out to a therapist and start to work through some of that, right? So you want to find the resources that you need now that you are aware of the beliefs that you're holding on to, the negative thoughts, the conditioning. You've asked yourself the questions. Now you get the resources you need to support you. And that's people, places, and things. Number 5, and this is my favorite part, is this is when you start taking action. So as you gathered your resources, you start putting in the work. Every day you do something to move forward. And so you guys know with the 3 to be free, 3 of the things that I do every single day is I go for a walk, I recite an affirmation, and I do something to move myself forward. And so you start taking action, right? You start putting in the work to begin to change your life. And you can find masterminds, accountability groups, anything you need to help you avoid procrastination and going back to step 1 when you've already started doing the work. And then number 6 is to repeat. So I do this over and over and over again in my business and my life. It always starts with the awareness. I move to clarity, mindset, resources, and actions. And this is how I've been able to change my life. This is why I can say I am basking in the riches of life. This is why I can say I'm living the best life ever. This is why you see me on social and inside the BEFREE Inner Circle glowing and lit up, because I am doing my work. I am showing up for myself. I am being free in every area of my life. And it's because of this exact process that I just shared with you. And so you can download your free resource. I broke all this down for you and you can download it right away. The link is in the show notes. What I want from you, when you download it, snap a picture of it and then tag me on social media at BEFREE Project, or you can tag me at Siobhan Sudbury and let me see that you printed it out. And your journal prompt for this week is, what are you naturally good at? And your affirmation is, I deserve to be happy and loved. Don't forget, you can share your prompt and your affirmation with me on Instagram at BEFREE Project or at Siobhan Sudbury. Please, please, please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and just a short little comment of what you love about it. This way more people can see the podcast and subscribe and listen. Oh, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and tell a friend to subscribe as well. As always, if my work has inspired you and you feel motivated and supported on your journey, treat me to a cup of coffee. The link is in the show notes. And until next time, girl, be free.
Hi, my name is Dana Moody from Baltimore, Maryland, and what I love most about the BEFREE Inner Circle are our virtual meetups. I really enjoy the events that Siobhan puts together to help us in the areas of personal growth and development. I love that she has special guests to come in and share in their areas of expertise. And I also love adding value to the group and also getting feedback from other like-minded women. I would recommend this group to anybody who is looking to become the best version of themselves and to achieve their goals.